Amy Just, Lincoln Journal-Star. For any and all of you, just what was your reaction last week to the news of John retiring and Dani being your coach?
I can go. I think it was all of the emotions. We found out within a span of 2 minutes that Coach was leaving and Dani was coming, and so it was a lot of sadness that Coach was leaving, but also just appreciation for what he has done for our time with him. And then 30 seconds later, we found out we have Dani, and that, I think we all knew that that was just the perfect fit, and so we were super excited right off the bat, but it was tough. It was feeling a roller coaster of emotions in a short period of time, but now that we're here and we have Dani here, I think it's just a lot of joy and excitement for the future.
Lincoln Arnold, Huskers Illustrated. Andi, John talked about that the team kind of went back away for 5 minutes. What was those discussions like, and what happened during that time frame?
Yeah, so after Coach told us, obviously we all did our thing. We talked to him for a little bit. Troy talked, and then we all just consecutively agreed, let's just go take 5 minutes. And when we went into our locker room, we just talked about, this is, like Bergen said, a roller coaster of emotions, but we're going to get through this together, and how do we support Dani in the way that she needs to be supported. And it's going to be all 13 of us and our support staff and Dani all together. And so we just wanted to really make sure that we were all on the same page, and we were going to do what it took to support Dani and support each other during this big shift.
Rebekah, native Nebraskan, to have one of Nebraska's own come back, lead the program. Well, first off, what do you know about Dani when you were growing up, and what does it mean to have a native Nebraskan leading this program?
Yeah, so okay, I don't know this is. But she actually recruited my older sister. She was in my house at one point, but I was nothing but in middle school, so I was kind of oblivious to it all. And I also ran into her at a libero camp. She stopped me. She goes, "What are you doing at a libero camp?" And I was like, "I don't know. I want to learn how to play volleyball." And so, it was a familiar face, and all I ever heard was great things from her. So that's what I know about her. And just also it piqued my interest before I ever even thought of John leaving, was that I heard Dani Busboom, coach of Louisville, mentioned in there that Nebraska head volleyball coach position opens up. She's going. I thought that was interesting as I was going into my junior year. I was like, huh. And now here we are. And I mentioned that in our meeting when she called it just for us, that, to be upfront with the team that you're currently coaching, that there is another team that still has your heart, speaks volumes about her commitment to Nebraska even after she left. And, for me, change is hard. It's really hard. I loved everything John Cook stood for because he's very traditional. We still tuck our jerseys in. We're not changing the design anytime soon. I don't know if Dani has other ideas. But, there was tradition. And I was scared because it's like, at first it was, guys, I'm retiring, I'm leaving. And then shortly Dani was coming, and there was this relief. And she even called us that same day. And I told her, I'm happy it's you. It was a relief, and it feels good to know that she's been through a weird change while she was in college for John Cook, so she understands that. She's played here, she's from here, and I truly believe that we're in really good hands.
Abby Barmer with Husker Online. Bergen, you mentioned that Dani was the perfect fit here. Why?
Yeah, I think, like it's been mentioned, she's from here, she played here, she knows what it takes, and that's something that unless you've played at Nebraska, you don't really know it. And so she can coach with that in the back of her mind. And obviously she took Louisville from where it was however many years ago to national championships in a pretty short period of time. And so she has proven herself as a coach and just obviously as a player, as an athlete. She's just a Nebraskan, and you can tell. And I'm not a Nebraskan, but I can kind of pick them out, and you can tell that she's just a Nebraskan at heart. And like Becca said, she even cared about Nebraska while she was at other places, and that just shows a lot about how she's going to coach us and how she's going to care for us.
Harper, John talked about how he met with you before the rest of the team, and he said you were emotionally devastated. How long did it take for you to process this? Are you still processing the change, and what's kind of your reaction, first impression of Dani?
Yeah, well, honestly, I can't lie. Like, when he asked me to come meet, I was mad at him for making me come to the gym on my off day. And I sat in his office, and I had never seen the look on his face. I thought something bad had happened, and he had to be the one to tell me. And obviously, he ended up telling me that he was retiring, and I just burst out in tears. And He's done a lot for me, and I was in shock, but I think I process things pretty fast, and then I start to go into denial a little bit. And I called my mom after I met with him, and I just sat up in his office area for an hour until the team got to the gym and we had to go meet with them. So I had a little bit of time to process, and it was really hard at first, and I was really upset for the 2 days after. But I mean, I trust Coach with Dani, and I believe that he's going to put us in the best position possible to win, even if he's not here. And I think that makes us all feel a little bit better that we trust him, and we know that he's not just going to hand us off to somebody he doesn't believe is going to set us up to be successful. And like Andi said, we talked in that meeting about how we're going to support Dani in the way that she needs, and we also talked about how we're going to respect her and respect Coach's decision and respect Dani, because she's earned that respect the past 8 years at Louisville. So we're excited for Dani, obviously, but it's been a whirlwind of emotions, but we're excited, and it's awesome that we have Dani here.
It's a huge change, but some things aren't changing. Jalen and Kelly and Wish are coming back. What does that mean to you guys?
Jalen, Kelly, Wish, Nebraska Volleyball isn't Nebraska Volleyball without them. So I know we're super grateful that they're still with us, and obviously that is a testament to Dani and Coach's loyalty to our staff and to our program, and I know we're super lucky to still have them in general, whether it was Dani or Coach. Who else? The three of them under Coach and under Dani now are the best coaches in the country, and we're really lucky to have them on our staff. So I'm super grateful that they're staying, and I know the rest of the team is, but I think it just really goes to show how much loyalty Dani has to this program and how much trust she has in Coach for having them on staff and keeping them here.
Andi, what does it say about the team culture that no one's transferring? I mean, a lot of people leave programs, but all 13 members are out there, and all the commits are saying they're still coming here. What does it say about the culture of the program that no one's left?
I think it obviously shows that we have a very strong team culture, and it's something that our team really prides ourselves on, is having a good team culture. And I think it also just shows that we have that ultimate trust, and that's something that we always talk about, and it's something we work really, really hard to achieve. And like Harper said, we can trust Coach that he's going to leave us with the best fit possible, and obviously Dani is that for us, and so we trust him. All 13 of us do, and we know that she's going to take us to where we need to go and to win the Big Ten and win national championships. And so I think these past couple weeks have just really reflected our team culture and our culture as a program, because everyone has still held themselves to such a high standard, and we're continuing to do the exact same things that we've done in the past. And with all these big shifts, everyone stayed on their stuff and just stayed motivated, and we're still hungry, and we're really, really excited to work with Dani. And so I think that we've all reflected the program very well these past few weeks, and we're going to continue to do that.
Andi, Kendi, KETV, Rebekah, for you, kind of building on this, can something like this, obviously you've been through this off-season stuff before, but can something like this kind of reinvigorate you guys at this stage and kind of light even a bigger fire than you've already had?
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of hard to say that one extra thing is already going to ignite that fire again. Change is hard, but I thought it was kind of interesting that she mentioned she might change the practice plan, and I thought that was crazy, but I'm excited. It'll be fun. But yeah, I mean, it's just the passing of the torch. I think everyone in this room, and honestly Husker Nation, fully understands the type of shoes that she has to fill. And I don't know, I'm excited. It's kind of hard to put into words. To be honest, the seniors are still on my heart from last year. And as of right now, this is my senior year. So I've been having a fire, and I'm really excited to do it with you guys. And my mom loves Dani. My mom's pretty picky. So, yeah, I'm just excited. This is the year of hope, and I think big things are going to happen. Yeah.
Bergen, obviously you guys are going through a big transition, but you also have 5 freshmen coming in who were fully expecting to work with John Cook, and now they have a new head coach, and they're living in a different state, most of them. So have you guys kind of wrapped your arms around them?
Yeah, that was one of the things we mentioned right after Coach had told us, and we went into the locker room to talk, it was hard on the freshmen, and we understood that because they committed to Coach, and they thought they were coming here to play under Coach, and he's a legend. Everyone would love to say that they played under him, and we understood that, and so we kind of just said that right away, and we said, like, we're here for you guys. You can come hang out at me and Harper's apartment. You can, like, whatever you guys need, we're here for you. Because I don't know, I remember my first couple weeks here, it was just a whirlwind. Like, you have meetings every day, you have to go to the doctor, get your physical, you have literally everything you could imagine. And they were starting to find a groove, and then this kind of happened. And so I think we all kind of understood that they were in a really tough place, and just wrapping our arms around them and telling them that we're going to get through it together. And they all immediately were just, again, committed to Dani, even though they were really upset. So just, again, shows the culture of our team and the kind of people that Coach and Jalen and Kelly recruit. It just, everyone loves Nebraska even before they've even played here.
Rebekah, why did you think you guys were meeting that day when you had to come?
We were told it has to do with revenue share, and we all thought we were going to get a bump. It's the year of hope. Andi and I have this joke, it's the year of hope. Good things are happening. I'm a Catholic, Jubilee year, so I'm excited, man. And then an atom bomb. So, yeah, sorry. I mean, it's pretty much public now, so. But, yeah, we thought it was just going to be like a business type of meeting, most likely a breakdown of the schedule. Sometimes those type of changes happen, so it's easier to have everyone present. Wish apologized about lying. Yeah, so that's what the original meeting we thought was going to be.
Like, when you walked back out to the parking lot after all that happened, like, how are you feeling overall about the future?
To be honest, I was like taking a while to leave. We had that meeting for just the players, and a lot of encouraging words were said, but I really wanted to win one with him. He's a legend. I've always respected like what he's done, and what he's given to the state of Nebraska. It's always meant a lot to me that we go to small towns and we have in-person admission to these small towns. We're playing in local high schools. It's really easy to be from a small town and feel forgotten about. And the fact that we bring one of the most publicized college programs to these small towns so these little girls, kids, farmers can have a front row seat to a volleyball game, that meant a lot to me. I mean, he's not even from here, and he wears the boots, belts. He's full-on cowboy now. And so that meant a lot to me to come here and see that. And it sucks that I don't get to win one with him. But Andi, Harper, Bergen, every single one of them were like, it's more than a trophy. We have values. There's things that I tell my family, I tell myself when I'm praying, like dream big. Great ones adjust. So he's definitely left a print on my heart with that, and I'm grateful for that. But I took a minute. I kind of cleaned myself up after crying, and then I saw Kelly and Jalen, and I just kind of fell to pieces again. Kelly was cracking a joke. She's like, maybe now isn't the best time to drive. But it was okay. I cleaned myself up and made it home safe. And, yeah, it was hard. Honestly, the walk felt forever to my car, and then I was in the car, and it's just hard. Change is hard. But, again, I want to reaffirm that I truly believe we're in good hands.
Andi, this was already going to be a big year of transition, stepping away from the leadership that you guys got from Lexi and Merritt last season. How does this change underscore what's in store for all four of you, I guess, but I was thinking mostly of the three sophomores becoming juniors as far as stepping into leadership roles, because now you have this additional change to deal with?
Yeah, obviously it was already a big shift, losing 5 seniors and Lexi and Merritt as our captains, and they worked really, really hard to build and uphold our culture, and that's obviously something I've already touched on. It's something that we really, really focus on here at Nebraska, and us three in our class, even Lainey, like we knew coming in that we were going to have a bigger role on this team now, and we weren't going to be sophomores anymore. We are upperclassmen, and the freshmen are going to be looking to us to uphold that culture and hold those roles and be there for them. And so now with this big shift, I don't think it changes that. I just think that there's just a small addition to it, but we're still going to keep all the same things, and we're going to still work super hard to uphold what generations before us have built, and Lexi and Merritt worked so hard to upkeep, and just continue to do what Nebraska Volleyball does and represent ourselves in a way that we should represent the program and the women that came before us, and now how we should represent Dani.
Harper, last time Nebraska had a coaching change, they won a national title in the first year with her new coach. Have you looked back in history at all, trying to repeat history this year?
If Lindsay Krause was here, she would know that. She knows all those facts. But, like Becca touched on this, like obviously a lot of us wanted to win a national championship with Coach. But I think the way that we can reframe that in our head is now we can win one for him. And I think that's the best way to approach this year. And, we can win one for Coach. We can win one for Dani. We can win one for all the little girls that look up to us in Nebraska and around the country. So I think that's how we need to reframe it for this year. And, we talk about stories every year. Becca called me, a week ago? And we were talking about our freshman year we lost in the national championship. Texas had an unbelievable year. This past year, Penn State's coach was going through hell. And they pulled out and they won a national championship for her. And they had a really strong why. And this year we have a coaching change, and now we have the opportunity to win a national championship with Dani and carry on Coach's legacy. So I think that's how we need to go and approach this season for sure.